Hey everyone, welcome to the open question. Isn't it fascinating how every time we encounter something we don't yet fully understand, there's a tendency to fill in the blanks with an all-encompassing answer? God? Throughout history, this pattern has repeated itself. Lightning strikes, the tides rise and fall, diseases spread, and humanity points to divine forces. But as science progresses, those acts of God shrink under the weight of evidence, logic, and understanding. So why does the God hypothesis still linger? Let's start with a simple question. If there's a creator responsible for everything, who created the creator? The idea of God often gets marketed as the ultimate explanation, but doesn't it just raise another question? Saying, God did it might feel satisfying, but it's no explanation at all. It's like saying the answer to every unsolved mystery is magic. That doesn't solve the puzzle, it just hides it. Take biology, for example. For centuries, people believed the intricate design of living creatures was proof of a designer. Look at the complexity of the human eye, they'd say. It's too perfect to be an accident. But then Darwin came along. Evolution by natural selection doesn't just explain the appearance of design. It shows how complexity arises step by step, without needing any guiding hand. We now understand how randomness, combined with survival pressures over billions of years, produces the dazzling diversity of life. The designer argument crumbled. But what about the universe itself? Surely its very existence and fine-tuning demand a creator, right? Well, not so fast. The constants of nature, the speed of light, the strength of gravity, the forces that bind atoms, do seem delicately balanced to allow life. If they were slightly different, stars wouldn't form, planets wouldn't exist, and life would be impossible. But does that mean someone tuned those cosmic dials? Not necessarily. Physicists have proposed several explanations that don't involve a deity. One is the multiverse theory. Imagine billions of bubble universes popping in and out of existence, each with its own physical laws. Most of those universes would be barren, but a few, like ours, would accidentally have the right conditions for life. We're here to observe it because we're in one of the lucky bubbles. This isn't just science fiction. It's a plausible, mathematical solution to the fine-tuning problem. But even if the multiverse theory isn't proven, invoking God doesn't help. It just shifts the question, who tuned God? If the universe is too complex to arise naturally, how could a vastly more complex deity exist without a cause? The God hypothesis doesn't solve the mystery, it multiplies it. Let's bring this closer to home with an everyday example, the weather. Centuries ago, droughts, floods, and storms were seen as signs of divine anger. Sacrifices were made, prayers were offered, but nothing changed. Today, meteorology can predict hurricanes days in advance. It doesn't require prayers or sacrifices, just science, satellites, and mathematics. Every time we understand something new, the need for God as an explanation vanishes. Even our brains, once thought to house the soul, have been demystified. Neuroscience shows how thoughts, emotions, and consciousness arise from neurons firing in intricate patterns. There's no need for a soul to animate us, just chemistry and physics. If you damage a part of the brain, the mind changes. If the mind is the soul, how can it be manipulated by a physical injury? That's like claiming a radio signal is divine but then watching it vanish when you smash the receiver. One of the most striking aspects of the God hypothesis is its adaptability. When science uncovers new truths, the definition of God shifts. He used to live on mountaintops, then in the sky, then in the gaps of our knowledge. Now, he's reduced to vague metaphors like the ground of being or a force beyond understanding. But a hypothesis that keeps changing to avoid being disproven isn't a hypothesis at all. It's an excuse. And let's not forget the burden of proof. If someone claims leprechauns exist, do you have to disprove it? Of course not. The person making the claim must provide evidence. The same applies to God. Yet, no verifiable evidence for any deity has ever been produced. Ancient books, personal feelings, and anecdotal stories don't count. We wouldn't accept that level of evidence for anything else. Why make an exception here? Think of how much humanity has achieved by rejecting the God did it mentality. Medicine replaced prayer as the answer to disease. Space exploration shattered the heavens and revealed worlds beyond our own. Physics unlocked the secrets of the atom, allowing us to understand the fundamental workings of the universe. None of this required divine intervention. In fact, belief in God often held us back, suppressing scientific progress and promoting ignorance over inquiry. So, where does that leave us? If science and logic crush the God hypothesis, what's left? Reality in all its complexity and beauty. The universe doesn't need a creator to be awe-inspiring. Stars are born, die, and recycle their elements into new worlds. Life evolves, adapts, and thrives in ways we're only beginning to grasp. And we, as thinking beings, have the privilege of understanding it. No gods required. In the end, the God hypothesis isn't just unnecessary, it's lazy. It demands no evidence, answers no questions, and shuts down curiosity. Science, on the other hand, thrives on evidence, evolves with new discoveries, and constantly pushes us to ask, what's next? That's where the real wonder lies, not in ancient myths, but in the endless quest for truth. So, the next time someone says, God did it, remember this. Every mystery solved by science was once thought to be the work of a god. How many more gods will fall as our knowledge grows? Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.